The other point is really that you don't always, some of the standard metrics aren't always the most useful to a company. So for example, with Akamai, what really characterizes our business is the amount of megabits per second we push on our network every year. And it's not a perfect metric, but it is one that is probably best characterizes the growth of our business. And what this chart shows you is the reduction in our carbon emissions per megabit per second on our network. And what it helps us to do is compare our performance from year to year. Because if we were just looking at absolute carbon, it would be a disaster because it's going up, but our business is growing. So it's an intensity metric that is unique to Akamai. I don't think it would be a good metric for Yahoo to use, or certainly not for Dell to use, or SAP, in order to determine are the things that we're doing to improve the efficiency of our network having an impact from year to year, and then what is the magnitude of that impact? And even understanding, well, why is it kind of going up and down? And that's really where it comes into the metrics are imperfect, and to really understand them, you have to understand your system analysis of your business, really.
That's really cool, by the way. One of the things we kind of picked up on a couple of years back when we were, kind of working in the green grid on some productivity proxies was we had this epiphany that said, there are a couple of classes of data centers. And I know that there are many, many different ways of classifying them, but in this particular instance, we said that the data center as a factory, where the data center produces something that's being sold, is probably going to have a metric that's custom for that business, right? So Akamai is selling bandwidth. So bandwidth is the thing they need to measure against. Yahoo may be selling searches. Yahoo may be selling data. And that's what's important to them. For Google, it may be searches. For eBay, it may be auctions, right? The folks who have data centers that perform as factories are probably going to have metrics that reflect their business. And my guess is many of them actually already have these metrics, and they don't tell us much about them because they're admittedly and legitimately very proprietary. The folks whose data centers aren't factories, those are the folks who would benefit from something that's a little more generic, where you've got 1,000 applications in a data center with 4,000 servers, and you can't generalize what your denominator should be. And by the way, the other thing that's really cool about that is you guys have picked up on the intensity thing. I learned about this a year or so ago that I kind of switched my thinking, that I like thinking in terms of intensity metrics with power in the numerator and your measure of your what you're producing in the denominator. That was kind of a flip from where I used to think about it. I used to put power in the denominator, but the intensity metrics seem to work a lot better when you're looking at stuff and looking at trends.